What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Johnny back here with another video as promised. And today is the day I do my video of my unboxing and in-depth review of the new Elvis Presley release that came out last Friday, August 9th. And it's this, the Elvis Memphis box set, 5 CDs. And we're also going to check out the vinyl too, the 2 LP highlights vinyl of the release. And I also have the Graceland exclusive, which we'll check out really quickly as well. But yeah, so that's what we're going to be doing today. I'm going to be doing this release. We're going to check out my usual things I do, cover to cover. I took time and listened to this release very thoroughly, and I have a lot to say about it. So this release was announced about a month and a half or 2 months before it was actually released. And when they did release it for pre-order on shopgraceland.com, they also had, every once in a while they do this, the exclusive vinyl for the Shop Graceland website. So this is the exclusive vinyl. Sold out fairly quickly. I want to say it sold out probably within a week, maybe a little bit less than a week, very quickly. And it's on translucent ruby vinyl. And I'm not going to open it. I'm just going to show you guys the little difference with it. I apologize. I usually don't open my exclusives. I have the other ones from the past back there, and I just don't open them. But I will show you the regular retail edition, and I will give you my thoughts on these releases. So let's check it out from cover to cover. So here's the front cover, and I'm telling you right now, man, I love the front cover of this. It's a beautiful shot of him from 1969. Looks like in Las Vegas. Very, very nice. So here's the front. Here's the back. Very nice choice of picture for the photo that was taken for the back. I want to say this is Elvis in of course in Memphis at the Overton Shell in Memphis. This is one of his earliest performances when he first started in his recording career. So it's pretty awesome. This is the highlight set. Here's the hype sticker. Pause if you'd like to read it. But I'll read this this hype sticker for you guys. Elvis Memphis, highlights of Elvis's recordings throughout his years in Memphis, featuring newly mixed tracks from Grammy Award-winning producer Matt Ross Spang, who has done many releases since, I would say, about 2019 with the Live 69 box set. Pure and without overdubs. We'll see. And it says Graceland exclusive, pressed on translucent red vinyl. Well, ruby vinyl. And so this is really the highlights of the 5 CD box set. And this is the track listing right here. I'll show you. And then I'll read them. You can pause and read them if you'd like. And then I'll read them to you aloud really quick. All right? And at each side of the 2 LP set is a theme, just like with the discs in the 5 CD box set, minus the live show from Memphis. It only spotlights one track at the very last track of this release. But we'll get to that. So let's start with side A. Side A is the Sun Single Masters. Those songs are That's Alright, 45 RPM master. Blue Moon of Kentucky, 45 RPM master. Because there was RCA master versions when they added reverb to the tracks. So these are the original Sun tracks, which is awesome. Then we have Good Rockin' Tonight, Baby Let's Play House, I Forgot to Remember to Forget, and closing it out with Mystery Train. All right, side B, we have, it's of the American 69 sessions, all the stuff that Elvis did in 1969. And those songs are In the Ghetto, You'll Think of Me, Don't Cry Daddy, I'm Moving On, Any Day Now, and Suspicious Minds. All right, then side C, or side 3, is Stacks of 73. And those songs that are presented on here for the highlights is Promised Land, If You Talk in Your Sleep, Take Good Care of Her, or Raised on Rock, It's Midnight, Your Love's Been a Long Time Coming. There you go. And then to close out this LP set is side D, and it's Graceland 76. It says For the Heart, Hurt, Way Down, Danny Boy, Moody Blue. And actually the very last track on this side is How Great Thou Art. It says Mid-South Coliseum 1974. Because the 4th disc of this 5 CD release, they also have the live show from Memphis and the Mid-South Coliseum, which would become the Live on Stage in Memphis album in 1974. And they spotlighted How Great Thou Art, but that's actually the song that Elvis got a Grammy nomination and won for his performance of How Great Thou Art. So that's pretty cool. So there we have this. And there's the spine. Pretty awesome. Before I show the vinyl, I just want to say, love the cover. I think it's great. I love the presentation. I love the colors that they used for the title. Good stuff. So this is the black retail vinyl. I did open this one, but again, I'm not going to take the shrink off. That's just how I collect. I apologize. All right, so let's go ahead and let me show you the vinyl on this release. The thing that sucks about this release is white sleeves. Nothing printed. Would have been nice. There was nice printed sleeves, but there isn't. Now, before I get started showing with the vinyl, I know some people had problems with the vinyl. The thing is, lately, I just feel like a big issue is quality control. But I gotta say, with my copy, I was very happy with my copy. I played it, and it played really well. And I gotta say, mine didn't really come in any imperfections, only on one side. And I think it was on side C. I'll show you guys when we get there. But here is side A. As you can see on mine, not any scuffs or paper scuffs or any type of scratches. I was very happy with mine. Some people can't say that they were happy, which that's disappointing because we paid money for these things. And this was about $36.99 off Amazon. There's side B. I'll probably change them to MoFi style sleeve. Here's the second LP. And here is side C. So this is the only imperfection I had on mine that was very noticeable. You can probably see it right there. It looks like a little scuff, but actually it doesn't even affect the play because I listened to it very closely to see if it would affect the play, and it didn't. Here's side C. And here is side D. Boom. So there we go. So that's the vinyl release for you. As far as the music goes, I think they chose good songs for the highlight set. I think it was pretty awesome. So there you have the vinyl release of this. And I think it's presented very well. Again, the cover is awesome. I think the selection of the songs they chose for this album was great. With the few they did choose out of the 111 tracks. There's 5, 10, 15, 20, 24 tracks on this LP set. So pretty awesome. Again, I got mine off Amazon for $36.99. Probably the lowest price you can get this for. And they always fluctuate. And it's still in stock if you would like to get this. No complaints from me for this with the quality of it. I know other people were not as lucky. But I was very happy with this. So next, we are going to check out the 5-CD box set. I'm sure everybody's really looking forward to this part of the video. First, let's check out the cover. Here's the front. Okay. And I'm going to say I love this photo they chose. Looks like it's about 1972, 1973. Can't really remember. But fun fact about this photo is actually cropped a little bit. Standing next to Elvis in this picture was the singer Engelbert Humperdinck. They met, I think, in his suite in Las Vegas in 72 or 73. I want to say this is around August of 72. Not really 100% sure. But yeah, it's a really awesome photo. I think it's a cool little fun fact about it. But here's the front cover. All right. There's your hype sticker. And I will read the hype sticker for you on this release. It says, Elvis Memphis. Highlights of Elvis's recordings throughout his years in Memphis. Features 88 newly mixed tracks in their pure form without overdubs. We'll see. By Grammy Award-winning producer Matt Ross Spang. Again, Matt Ross Spang done this as well. Includes his 1974 hometown show at the Mid-South Coliseum in its entirety, which it's been released for many years now. So yeah, and this has 111 tracks. It says 88 of them were newly mixed, so I'll explain that when we get to it with the other remaining tracks that weren't newly mixed. But yeah, so here's the front, like I said, beautiful cover. Here's the back. I like the choice of photo for the back. I think that's really nice. This is really a photo you don't see a lot. It's not rare, but you just don't see it on a lot of releases or anything like that. And there's your whole track listing. And then here's a little thing to read right here on the back cover. And what the hell, I'll read it for you too as well. To celebrate the 70th anniversary of the first legendary Sun recording, Sony Legacy is proud to present Memphis, the first fully comprehensive collection of his finest work made in his hometown of Memphis, Tennessee. In addition, this 5-CD set Commemorates his work and at other re-owned Memphis locations. American Sound, 1969. Stack Studios, 1973. My cat's on my lap. Damn it, Delilah. Mid-South Coliseum, 1974. And his beloved Graceland, Home Graceland, 1976. You're distracting me, cat. Jeez. With the exception of the Sun Sessions, Memphis features newly mixed recordings by four-time Grammy Award-winning engineer Matt Ross Spang. Wow, he won 4 times? Crazy. To highlight the intimacy of Elvis's vocal performances, the studio recordings are without overdub strings, horns, and additional backing vocals. We'll see. Produced by Ernest Michael Jorgensen, these recordings provide a fly-on-the-wall glimpse of how Elvis would have originally heard them while singing in the studio. So that's the concept of this box set. So we think. Let's check out the CDs. The thing that holds the CDs. Right here. I think, let's see which one we're going to look at first. Let's look at this one. This is a trifold that holds the CDs. Nice imagery. Look at that. That's nice. But as usual, these things suck holding the CDs. They scratch them up horribly. I think I'm going to return this copy and get one with a new one because my discs are scratched up like crazy. But here we go. I'm going to show you this cover to cover. Here's the first 3 discs. Here's the back. Very nice imagery. There's a picture of Stack Studios. And this is Elvis during the Memphis 1974 hometown show. And I'm going to show you one of the discs. This is how they all look. So that's how all the discs looks. There you go. And this holds the last 2 discs of the box set. So here we have this. Nice picture of Elvis in Memphis in the 50s. That's a cool picture. That's like a promotional, it's like a promotional picture around when he was at Sun. And it shows like a few master tapes. That's pretty awesome. It looks like they're the ones from Sun Records. Cool. And here's the inside that holds CDs 4 and 5. There you go. All right, here's the book right here. And this book has 31 pages. So let's just get started. I'm going to show you it real quick. There's the front. Here's the back. This is of when Elvis was playing 1956 in Memphis at Rustwood Park. They spotlighted that in the Baz Luhrmann film. So let's just get started. So here we go. So the linear notes in this release was done by Robert Gordon. He's an author and I think a filmmaker as well. He has a book called It Came from Memphis, I think. I'm pretty sure it's called. Yep, It Came from Memphis. And actually, I may check out that book. This guy, I gotta say, when he did the linear notes of this, he did a really good job. Not a lot of new information to know about these periods in Elvis's career, but just the way he words everything is very nice. I read the whole book. So, very good stuff. Beautiful quality photos of this release. Good choice of photos. Very nice. This is obviously Elvis during his time of Sun, going into 1969. Which is my favorite, really, if anyone asks me, it's my favorite time of Elvis's career, of his music studio recording career, is him at the American Sound sessions. Here's some pictures of those sessions with the players, which were great players. Next time I go to Memphis, I would love to see where American Sound was located. So I would like to check it out. If it's still standing. I don't even know if it's still standing. I assume it is. Maybe not, but there you go. Some memorabilia, more photos, 45 picture sleeves. Looks like now we're at Stax. And it talks about parts in Elvis's career, obviously, when him and Priscilla got divorced in 73. By the way, Stax. There's a really good documentary on HBO Max right now about Stax. Not like Elvis at Stax, just a history of Stax Records. If you have HBO Max, I highly recommend you watch it. It's very good. I think it's like a 3 or 4 part thing. Very long, but very interesting if you like historic stuff. But More photos from the time. I like this photo. I like that one very much of him. Here's during the live show in Memphis from 1974. Next is spotlights on disc 4. And then Graceland. The Graceland sessions, also known as the Jungle Room sessions. Cool. And these are just it says Elvis Memphis moments. So these are just many different photographs from different moments of other moments of Elvis and him in Memphis. Look, we have his looks like they have the charity performance of 1961 right there. Elvis in popular tunes in Memphis. Here's Elvis and B.B. King. What else we got? Elvis with his parents at Audubon Drive house. Elvis in front of Graceland in the early 60s. This is him, I think, by Audubon Drive. Another photo from one of the charity shows in 61 in Memphis. And this looks like it's from one of the live shows in Memphis. I think it's from 76 though. Oh, 75. So there you go. And again, there's another photo of a very young Elvis at one of his first performances right here. Really nice. Then you have all the track listings. All the credits and all that good stuff of all of the discs. So nice. Very nice. That's a nice place to put that photo. Cool stuff. Let me just tell you what I thought about the box. So I thought the box, the way it's made, it's nice and sturdy. Very nice. Love the imagery of it. Very good job, as usual. Sony has come a very long way with doing these awesome and presenting them well. Same with the book. Very good quality. Very interesting read. You really won't find any new information you probably don't know if you're a huge Elvis fan. But very well worded from Robert Gordon. I think it's great stuff. I want to say this is a photo that's on one side of the gatefold of inside the LP. But yeah, I mean, great stuff presented. Everything is presented well in this. And I may check out that book from him. It came from Memphis. These, great imagery too. Of course, we're all not fans of these pockets for the CDs. I just wish they would go back to the jewel, to the plastic trays. It would be a hell of a lot better, but maybe they find it's less costly with these. But these are cool looking. I mean, I think they're great. Good imagery of all this stuff. So all in all, the presentation of this box set really think is awesome. I just love this cover. Elvis is look, honestly, he looks pretty cool and badass on that cover. So I really do enjoy it. So now we're at the most important part of the release, and that is the music. So I'm going to go disc by disc. This is probably going to take a while because I have a lot to say about the presentation of all this music on here. But there is 111 tracks. 88 of them are newly mastered. The other ones I'm going to explain in a minute. And each disc is a theme. So let's just get started with the first disc. So the first disc is the theme of Elvis at Sun Records in 1954. The first part of this is called the Sun Singles Masters. So this is all stuff that was released while Elvis was at Sun. He released 5 singles, 10 tracks, and they're all presented here. And then from tracks 11 to 23, it says the Sun RCA LP Masters. Through the years on RCA, when Elvis was on RCA, they released all the rest of the masters on other RCA Victor releases, like Date with Elvis for LP fans only, stuff like that. So these are the tracks that are presented on disc 1. So I'm going to be honest with you guys. The first disc I did not listen to. So you're probably like, well, Johnny, why didn't you listen to it? Well, these are the ones that weren't remastered for this release, the first disc. And why not? All those versions of those masters are on disc 1. Elvis Presley, A Boy from Tupelo. All the tracks on this appear on this. Only this has 23 tracks. This has 27 on the first disc. Because the other ones are RCA masters. Like I said, RCA did their own versions of the Sun records, of the Sun releases adding reverb and stuff like that. So, but yeah, so the mastering is from A Boy from Tupelo. They were done by Sebastian Jansing. I think that's how you say it. So he did the mastering of those tracks, and they sound great. So if you heard them on here, you heard them already. So, and they sound amazing. I think a lot of people would agree. So now we're at disc 2 of this release. So this one's called American 69. So this is the stuff that Elvis recorded in 1969 at American Sound Studio. Now this contains 24 tracks. These are not all the tracks that Elvis recorded in American Sounds. There is some missing, and you're going to find that the same with Stax on 1973 on the next disc we will talk about. And those tracks are This Is the Story, A Little Bit of Green, My Little Friend, Inherit the Wind, I'll Be There, and The Grass Won't Pay No Mind, If I'm a Fool for Loving You, and Who Am I? So those tracks are missing from this. And I think the reason why they're missing from this disc and on the Stax disc, which I'll name those tracks when I get to it, I think they really just wanted to contain each theme on one disc, which is pretty disappointing because we want all of it, presented. This is part of it, and it just sucks that it's missing, So I'm gonna let you guys in on a little thing. So when I was reviewing this, I listened to this with headphones and listened to very thoroughly and intently. Let me just talk about how this disc sound. So when I was listening to this release, I did a lot of comparison of other audio that's available. Now, what I used to compare the 1969 sessions was this. It was the FTD release of the 1969 sessions, the complete American Sound sessions. These really do have the undubbed stuff before anything was added to the masters. I somewhat don't find it true in this box set with 1969. First, let's just talk about the mastering. The mastering overall with this disc, it's a little disappointing. So with me, I find, and I may sound repetitive when I review the other discs, is that it's very bass heavy, and you're supposed to hear all the stuff that was present in the studio. And some stuff is turned up too high, some stuff is too low, and you don't hear all the elements. I think a perfect example we should go with first, and also talking about everything truly being undubbed, is talking about Don't Cry Daddy, the track. Don't Cry Daddy, during this track, Elvis's vocal is harmonized through the whole track, which that doesn't make sense, because that means Elvis harmonized with his own voice. So that means that's an overdub. So right there's a problem. It's overdubbed. It's not undubbed. And listening to the version that's on the American Sound that's available on here is take 3 master take with vocal overdub. Because Elvis was sick during some of these sessions. And they laid down the instrumental track and Elvis came in and put his vocal. And I think that was the case with Don't Cry Daddy. But that means Elvis put down 2 vocals. The main one, and the one with him harmonizing with the harmony vocal. Well, during this track, Elvis's voice is harmonized throughout the whole track. When actually, present on here, it's the harmony track is only present on the chorus of the song. Which that really isn't undubbed neither. I just wish that they just did his one vocal track, the main vocal track. And another, this is a perfect example using this track. You don't hear everything on the mastering of this release. So we're using Don't Cry Daddy as an example. There's a lot of stuff that you can't hear with this mastering. So the mastering of this, overall with disc 2, I mean, everything's lifted. The whole track is lifted up in the mix, but there's stuff that's drowned out. And I just think that one problem is there's a lot of bass. There's so much bass that it kind of drowns out the track, even though the whole mix is turned up, if that makes sense. But with Don't Cry Daddy, Well, as a perfect example, in this, there's some instrumentation you can't hear that's present that you can hear in this. You hear it a lot clearer. For example, the drum, when the doom 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 doom, you hear the drum hit doom 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 doom, like you can hear. I guess it would be the snare drum, but you don't hear it on this. It's hard to hear with the type of mastering, and this the fact that the harmonizing of Elvis's vocal. That's not truly undubbed. That's overdubbed because he obviously overdubbed his vocal for the harmony. So that was a huge disappointment. But there's a few tracks that sound good. Like off the top of my head, I know that In the Ghetto sounded decent. Mama Like the Roses sounded good. The studio jam, It's My Way. This Time I Can't Stop Loving You. And I hate to say, and I hate to criticize this because this is my favorite time of Elvis's career is 1969. And I didn't really enjoy this disc. I actually enjoyed some of the other discs more. And we'll get to that when we do. And another example of it not truly being overdubbed, not truly being undubbed, is that, let's talk about the track I'm Moving On. It has the steel guitar overdub, which that was overdubbed in the song. It's present on here. It shouldn't be on there. So what they basically should have did was just take the master tracks and take everything, all the overdubs off, and that's not 100% true, which is super aggravating for me, you know? And I'm just super disappointed with this disc. There was some tracks that sounded good, like the ones I mentioned, just a few, but this is, again, it's hard to hear everything. So next, we're going to talk about the 1973 Stax Sessions on disc 3. This contains almost all the sessions, tracks from the sessions. Again, this is the other disc that is missing some of the songs from the sessions. And those songs are Girl of Mine, Mr. Songman, Thinking About You. I really love that song. I wish it was in here. And I love Some of the Year. So those songs are missing from this. But this is really the first time officially that almost all these songs in here are officially unreleased, undubbed. So it was really cool to hear this stuff. But just like the last disc, a little bit, yes, the mix is turned higher, but the bass is a little bit too high again, and it drowns out some elements on some tracks. I think a perfect example of that is I Got a Feeling in My Body. Some of the background vocals, the feeling in my body is so fine, like of the Sweet Inspirations is drowned out in some points of the song, which is a shame. But for the most part, I gotta say, I really enjoyed disc 3. I thought it was great. Some of my favorite songs appeared on here. If You Talked in Your Sleep, that's always been one of my favorite songs. It appeared on the FTD Classic Album series of the Promised Land release back in, 2011. But I compared them side by side, the undubbed. This does sound a lot cleaner and better, but the bass is a little too high in the mix. But still sounds great. It doesn't take away any elements from If You Talk in Your Sleep. And I think that was really the only... And then Promised Land. So Promised Land was previously released on this undubbed. But on this one, a lot of people are complaining about the organ being too high. But actually, I think it's not that bad. I actually really enjoyed Promised Land. I thought that was a very enjoyable track as well. So don't really have any complaints there. But that's really all that was released previously undubbed on this release. But for the most part, they sound better on here. And if anything being undubbed from Raised on Rock, nothing has ever been released undubbed from Raised on Rock. So we have some tracks from Raised on Rock on here that are present. Now, the tracks that have been previously released undubbed from Good Times are I Got a Feeling in My Body, Loving Arms, She Wears My Ring, My Boy, and Spanish Eyes. So all those songs were previously released, but again, they sound a lot better on here. I really don't have many complaints about the way this sounded. It's just that at some points, on very few tracks, there was some tracks that were, the bass was a little too high in the mix and it took away from the track. But other than that, it sounded really refreshed and good. So that's what I gotta say about disc 3. I thought it was really amazing. So next we're going to talk about is disc 4 is called the Homecoming Concert. And this is actually the Elvis recorded live on stage in Memphis concert that was released in 1974. And then we got it, the last time we got it was on this, the Legacy edition of Elvis recorded live on stage in Memphis. And this also presented the whole concert. And it sounded amazing then, and it still sounds amazing now. And this mix of the show is great as well. Honestly and truly, I can't criticize this mix. I think it's great. It's just refreshed a little bit. Honestly and truly, you can't go wrong with either versions of the mastering. I think they were both done very well. No better, no worse than the other. So I really don't have much to say, because I'm sure you big Elvis collectors out there has heard this concert in its entirety. But this is just a Matt Ross Bang version. And it sounds just as good as the one from 2014. So don't really have much to say there. Last but certainly not least is the very last disc on disc 5. This is called Graceland 76. Now this actually contains all the studio masters that were recorded during the Jungle Room sessions at Elvis's home, Graceland. So that's really cool. And I gotta say, people, this for me is the most enjoyable listening experience of the whole box set. And it was done right. This contains 16 tracks. Has, again, all the songs that were recorded during the Jungle Room sessions in the studio. And they're all presented very well here, undubbed. I mean, they're truly undubbed, and they sound amazing. Matt Ross Bang did a great job at these. I really don't have any complaints. It's just such a pleasant listening experience, especially going through, especially compared to disc 2 of this release, being very disappointed. It was refreshing to close the box set with really good listening experience of the Jungle Room sessions. And only a few of these songs have been released undubbed on past FTD releases like of these. So there was a few that were released on the classic album series undubbed, EP Boulevard and Moody Blue. But I listened to them side by side, the tracks, and they're amazing here. I think the most enjoyable track on here for me, and I never cared for Elvis's version of Danny Boy, but God, it just sounds so great here. And one of my all-time favorites is The Last Farewell. That's been presented before, undubbed, but it sounds amazing here. There's nothing really I can criticize about this disc. I enjoy it. That's really all I gotta say about all the music. So now I'm at my final thoughts, and I'm kind of torn with this release. So am I happy that I bought this? Is it worth getting? It's still worth getting, but there's a lot of disappointed points in this box set. I was very excited when I heard this was coming out. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's all the undubbed stuff of Elvis in Memphis. First off, the most disappointing thing is it's not all the stuff from Memphis. Basically, American 69 and Stacks of 73 is still just highlights. They're missing some songs from those sessions. But again, they probably did it to save, to have every theme on one disc each. So that's very disappointing. I don't like how a lot of stuff was really mastered, and some of them aren't the truly undubbed masters, like Don't Cry Daddy and I'm Moving On. Especially those two tracks really stick out. I mean, I would still buy it because I'm going to buy it anyways. This is Elvis release, but I just wish it was 100% genuine to the concept of this box set. And this is kind of like what happened with Elvis back in Nashville. It wasn't 100% behind the concept of being undubbed. It was just a select songs that were, the pure undubbed mix. And I'm very disappointed with Matt Ross's mastering in a way, because he usually does great work. And I can't say that 100% about this box set. And the fact that this was $70.99, I got it for $10 cheaper than full-blown retail. And actually since then it went down in price. I want to say the last time I looked it was $57.99. So if you haven't bought this yet, it's probably good that you waited, because you can get it for a little bit cheaper price than I did, and a majority of people did. But overall, I'm in the middle of the road with this. The stuff that's good on here is good. The stuff that's not so good isn't so good. That's all I can really say about it. But everybody, I think that's it. I think I'm going to stop it right here. I hope you enjoyed this review. I hope I helped you make a decision if you want to get this or not. I really thank you guys for watching this video. I know it's been a while since I've done a video. I thank you from my old and new subscribers and people who support my channel. consider liking and subscribing if you haven't already. Check out my links in the description of this video. Thank you guys for your support, and I will see you all in the next video. See you later, and goodbye. Take care.